All right, we're going into a completely new era. We don't care about disclosure. I'm going to tell you what disclosure is. I'm going to give you something to go check out that I think is fabulous, that I think it's where we are now with what is going on with non-human entities, intelligence, unidentified aerial phenomenon. I don't know what it stands for, but I'm going to share something with you about all of it that has taken us into the new era. And we can all relax now and start to actually enjoy participating in this. I'm going to share something with you. You've got to go check it out if you haven't already. It's about an experiencer, and I think you're going to really like this. It's nothing to fear. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fear and live an amazing life. I'm going to talk about fear today because it's so important with what I'm going to share with you. First of all, I hope you subscribe. Don't know what's going on with YouTube, but it's hitting everybody, and I'm seeing people with 2 million subscribers going, what's going on? Subscribe. So check to make sure you are subscribed, because the algorithms have changed. I don't know, but I'm going to keep speaking my truth. And maybe it'll be yours, because you get to choose it. There's no one truth. Everything exists all at once. Yeah, it's all connected. It's just one thing happening. Have you read my book? I actually explain all of this. If you read this book, you may never have to read another spiritual book again. It really explains where we are right now, and that is past the tipping point. What's the tipping point? We know we function a certain way that hasn't worked. We know the systems are never in our favor as the whole. We are always looking out after ourselves as individuals, and now it's all coming to the surface. It's bubbling up. You know how well, I don't eat chicken, but you know how the chicken, you'd have to scrape all that gunk off the top. That's what's happening right now. Everything's being exposed, and people can't hide anymore. Why? Because we just don't tolerate it. After a while, you know, if somebody's, okay, think about this. Like, I'm a former investment banker. Hedge funds, like the scheme, you know, you get more money in and then you have to pay the other people off and you get more money to pay them off, and eventually it collapses. It's all collapsing right now. So all the systems that don't work, we are not going to support anymore. Well, that's your choice, but we're not going to support it anymore from a collective. In other words, it's not working in our favor, and we're looking for alternatives. Now, people who have found alternatives have basically disappeared a lot in the past. Before, they used to get burned at the stake. Why? Because those in power didn't want others to know that they actually held the power themselves. We hold the power ourselves. Are you starting to believe it? It's time to get out of the dark ages. We have powers beyond our imagination. Ye are all gods, plural, meaning everybody holds that power. I am not God and you are not God. We are all gods because we are all of the one creation, including the darkness. So people say there is evil, there are horrible aliens on the planet, and I'm like, well, if you believe that, that's fine, but you have to go on that frequency to even connect with it. You may experience it sometimes, but you do not have to entangle with it. What does that mean? You have free will, so your frequency entangles with whatever you place your attention on. That's how it works. So if you have these fears in there, things might show up and you might say, well, I don't believe that, but somewhere you do. We're creating absolutely everything. You're creating your own experience and also your own challenges so that you can know certain things and master certain things. So don't be afraid of that, but know that you can change absolutely anything. Anything. So ask yourself, if you are in a situation, why? And what thought or actions need to be changed so that you can go into what you want, because this person that created the problem cannot solve the problem, so you have to become the person who solves the problem. Einstein said that. So again, I hope you'll subscribe and share my videos, because the word is out now. I just saw, and here's somebody I do follow, because you know I don't watch news and all that other stuff, except for on very few occasions, and it's a person called Jake Barber. I'm not calling him a whistleblower, because I think whistleblowers are a load of crap. A whistleblower is somebody who's still connected to the government, and as long as they are, they may think they're doing good things, but they're being manipulated. Why? There's no way the government's going, okay, now we all want to do the right thing. No, not going to happen. Why? They have to cover up all the lies that they've been telling, so they have to sort of, make it look okay and, get it out there a little bit. Why do we care? We don't. And Jake Barber says that. Now, Jake Barber was, undercover deep ops. I don't know. He was in some kind of role in the military and in the private sector, and they were recovering down craft. Now, one time he recovers a down craft that is of a extraterrestrial nature. It was not of this earth. Absolutely beyond the shadow of a doubt. It was an egg. Now, if you've seen this video, they actually have a video of it. He is a first-hand experiencer. Now, I don't listen to anybody unless they've actually experienced themselves, because everything else is made up and it's meant for you to fear. So people will say that aliens are malevolent. Well, hello, McFly, look around. What are we doing to each other? It's horrific what we do to children and old people and animals and everything. It's just absolutely sickening, right? It's sickening to live on this planet that does that. Well, it is an illness. It is an illness, and those who experience these things pass these things on. So we have to break the cycle. Now, those who haven't experienced certain things, they are going by what they're told, and they believe sources that if they are of a negative nature, right? What are you listening to? You're creating that reality, so you can make it real. Now, David Grusch is a whistleblower. Supposedly he's a good guy. I don't know who he is. He's never really held any high position in the military and the government, which tells me he didn't get deep secret information. And if he did, it's somebody telling him something. So whistleblower, he's stepping out and I don't believe it for a moment. I think that he thinks he's doing good, but I don't believe any of it. I definitely don't listen to Alessandro. I think his ego is totally blown out of control. And same thing with David. Is it David Greer? Yeah, I think it's David Greer. Stephen Greer, sorry. Anyways, they started out okay, and then their egos got out of control, and now they become experts. So I know Greer, oh no, he has all the answers. Oh no, he's the guy they all go to. Baloney. Everyone contributes in some way, but he is not really what I consider an experiencer. He has this app that calls in, orbs and whatever. I don't know if that's actually true. I've never experienced it myself. However, I am going to delve into that and share my experiences with you. But what I want you to know is that when you have an experiencer like Chris Bledsoe, who is sharing what they went through themselves firsthand, it's one of endless experiences. So somebody might say, oh, it's horrible what they do to us, and somebody else might say, actually, they're healing us, they're trying to help us. It depends on how you look at it, right? And your experience as a human being is going to be different because we come from fear. So we can't understand, like the animals that we go and collect, pull them away from their families, and we, do all this stuff to them and examine them, and then we tag them and put them back. And they're thinking, oh, I'm traumatized, and we're trying to save them. Maybe they're going to go extinct or whatever. It's no different. So that's just my take on it. Now, Jake Barber picked up this alien craft, and he experienced something that was so overwhelming. He experienced a overwhelming love and unconditional love. I've experienced this too. That you can't even explain it to somebody, so much so that he started crying, like this is a really tough guy, and he didn't understand what was going on. He thought maybe he was losing his mind or whatever. These things are intelligent, so we're always thinking, oh, they have to travel here in 5 million light years. Like, no, they don't. They come to our planet through all kinds of shifting into realities. We can't even comprehend it. We always think something has to have enough fuel to go somewhere. It doesn't work that way. These are actually controlled, these craft are controlled by minds because they are actually alive entities on a different level. Just like everything is alive, just like plants are, just like that rock out there is, all is intelligent and conscious. And I know it's tough. We can't imagine because we think of ourselves as individuals and we're on such a low frequency that we don't see the life in everything else, but there is life in absolutely everything, including this plastic camera that I'm looking at. I want you to understand that, because everything that is interacting with you on some intelligent level. Well, Jake was connecting to this, whatever it was, this intelligence that was love and kindness. Now, he has since experienced all kinds of things connecting to that world. Now, he was threatened by who hired him and some other people to pick these things up, and obviously they want to capture this high top secret stuff, right? These are government related private entities that hired him, and his life was threatened. In fact, they were shot at when they were trying to pick up some information, and they realized they're not safe. So he came out, decided he's going to come out, and what the hell, he has nothing to lose. He's safer if he talks about it. He's protected now by other entities, and you might think this is cray-cray stuff. I don't, because I know experience this kind of stuff myself, and it's just because we can't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So you can connect to this world, and I think it's time for you to do that, because everything exists in it, including everything you've ever wanted, and a world where no one lacks for anything. Now, he has created what's called Skywatcher. He has a group of people, a very small group, and they are all ex-military, and I got to tell you something, these are some serious dudes. They're not the cray-cray type, you know, they have these stories or whatever, but I have to tell you, and some of them didn't even believe in, you know, alien neighbors, but are working with him with technology to connect to these extraterrestrial forms and other non-human intelligence, I should say. They have categorized them. They come in different forms. So we've seen like the triangle and then the tic-tac and all these things. That's real. So they have this high-tech equipment, and they are actually being funded by some very wealthy people who want them to explore all of this. So he's got his task force, and they're out in the God knows where they are with all this equipment, and they are monitoring this. Now, they have 2 episodes out. It's called Skywatcher Channel on YouTube. I highly recommend you watch it. And here's what Jake Barber says. He said, "We don't care about disclosure. We don't care what they think. We don't care what they say. We know what we know, and we're exploring that. Yay, finally somebody isn't a whistleblower that needs to go to you know, on Capitol Hill, or, you know, to discuss this stuff." It's like, great, you guys are still living in the box. Fine, stay there. We don't care. Dr. Gary Nolan, who is amazing, Stanford, amazing dude, has joined the team. Now, he wouldn't talk about this stuff for a while because, you know, he has his career to protect, but he's like, nah, he's on board now. Super credible guy, so he's part of their team. They are using this equipment to connect with these beings, these intelligent entities, and they come in different forms. So they have categorized them, like the orb, the tic-tac, what's another one looks like a squid, like a jellyfish, and they come in different forms, and so they can't actually always see them. By the way, they do this in the daytime primarily. They can't always see them, but the equipment picks it up. These things actually can shut down their equipment and disable all of their detection devices. So if they don't want to be seen, they don't. They have helicopters that go out and try and monitor these things. There was one instance when the helicopter was being held down, they literally couldn't move. These are powerful, super intelligent entities, non-human intelligence. What is it? They're trying to understand what it is. However, Jake Barber said he has, and he's talking a little bit more about this. I know he's held back because people think it's weird, or that he's weird, or who cares? He said, I'm over it. You know? So he said actually entities have followed him home, not bad ones. And he also said there is actually a protective light, almost like angel-like. It almost looks like wings over his house that neighbors have seen. This blue light that surrounds his home. He's being protected. This is what's happening now. So those light beings, people, light workers who are coming out, light workers are not special. They're not better than anybody else. They just are fulfilling a role in this play that we're playing out here, this game, this matrix game. So obviously his is to step out and help us to understand better this other side, this other unseen world that is loaded with intelligence that we can connect to and actually are a part of. So if you want to participate in this, I suggest that you start to meditate and understand that you are not this body, that the intelligence that you call upon to change your life is you, and that you do have protectors and angels and whatever you believe they are, is actually a higher, more advanced part of you, but you're not disconnected from it. So yes, you can ask, and prayer is absolutely powerful. They've done studies on this. Anybody who tells you that aliens are malevolent and that there's evil and demons, all this stuff, they're creating that themselves. It's true. They're creating it. There are no demons in my world. They're created entities by other people, and they have no power over me. Why? Because I and it are of the same energy field, and so I'm not going to play in the basement. I'm going to stay in the penthouse. That isn't that you won't come into contact with certain things, but it has no power over you. So now we're understanding that. Now that's what they don't want you to know, is that you do hold this power. So those in power who are in low energy frequencies that are very connected to 3D world, the stuff and the power, you know, they want that. They're not going out into this much more powerful realm that exists for them too. They don't want the majority of people to go into that powerful space because it takes away from what they desire. So they want you to stay in fear. They want you to think that aliens are malevolent, and that there are demons. They're going to load you with all kinds of crap. So you have to stay away from that. Now, I just want you to know that I went on YouTube and I realized probably 99% of everything on YouTube is fake and negative. Seriously, it is. Fake and negative. I realized our whole world is. Everything we're doing, what we're eating, what we're taking, what we're taught, even, you guys have seen this, is it there or here? It's all meant to get you to buy stuff, to support things. It's not about really helping people. Digital Explorers, I'm teaching people how to create online businesses that are planet conscious. And I told them, you'll never get a sales training from me. You'll get marketing. What's marketing? How can I bring something really valuable to the world, get it in front of the right people who want it? I don't have to sell that. But this is what we are trained to do, is get somebody to do something, and that's what YouTube and the media and all the institutions and organizations and corporations want us to do things. So they program us to think that we need these things to cure all these other problems. We need this to be accepted. We need this to be cool, and you have to shut it down. We have to unplug from it, okay? So I suggest you go see Skywatcher. The second series, second in this series just came out. Okay, I don't know what that was. AI is talking on my computer. Alrighty. And with that, we're going to say goodbye. I don't have AI on. I don't have Siri on right now. So we're going to connect. Alrighty, I'm going to check this out. I'm going to try and call in orbs. I'm going to start communicating with that side. And I want you to explore these things according to what your comfort level is. If you decide that you want to step into this new golden era where we've already shifted, it's just all a choice. It's just a choice, and that all these, there's nothing that is untrue. And so it's not like I have the truth and they don't and they don't. Stop the division of things. Okay, if it's true for you, that's great. It's not for me, that's fine. Pick your truth. And if it's of a negative nature, if it's of separation or judgment or pointing fingers, if you have to tell somebody off because they didn't do what you like them to, you're in the dark zone. Just, you may not want to stay there. It's not a good place to be. It doesn't feel good. And you're going to be hanging out with other people like you. So if you want to change your life, you've got to be that which you desire to be. You cannot watch or listen to rock and roll if you're tuned into classic music. It's just that easy. You got to dial in, but we have to recognize the negative thoughts and whatever. So disclosure is a joke. And also, if there are things that are going to program us again to think that our extraterrestrial neighbors are negative, I don't believe it. I never will, because I know that if they were, they would have taken us out by now. And second of all, they want us to succeed because they have their own games going on, and we're screwing up their game if we do something crazy. And we are absolutely not respecting our planet. That all has to change. Start with you. Those of you who've asked me about the water, if you want to stop drinking arsenic and opiates and pharmaceuticals and all the garbage, I have a water filter that I purchased. It's way cheaper than anything else you can get because you're not using plastic bottles. It's the actually container is glass. There is a 15% discount in the description. You'll see water purifier, welcome 15% discount. Go check it out. There's a video there on how to use it, how it works, the 80 different things it cleans out of your water. My guests have actually noticed, and I didn't even tell them. They're like, your water is fabulous. I said, yeah, and it's clean. Start cleaning up everything in your body because this is real. You know, it is a part of what you've created right now, so we got to clean it up. All right? Organic. Try not to buy things in plastic or anything processed if you can help it. I don't suggest eating animals. It's not because I'm just an animal lover, which I am. It is primarily because they are loaded with chemicals and treated very badly, and so you're eating pain. You're eating pain. So let's try to make good choices. Go check out Jake. I'm going to talk more about him. David Grusch, I'm sorry, not following it. Don't care what the government says. It's not my business. Make this your business. This, all you can do is be your best. What is that? Love, light, unconditional compassion, understanding. It's not always going to be easy. You can have an opinion, but don't condemn other people for being different, even if it's wrong. Because ultimately, the one is playing that out. The one's playing that role. So you ready for a new world? We're in it. You can participate right now. Get ready, because in this next year, you're going to see some things revealed about the other intelligence that exists right here, in this room and beyond. Is that so scary? I think it's fabulous. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.